So, morning, everyone. Those who are with us in person, and those who are listening to the recording. We're still in our apartment. There's friends of ours' apartment in Garlington, which has been so wonderful. But the one thing that really I find tricky is the lighting because it's just the lighting is so dim. So excuse the quality of the lighting in the video, we don't really need light for a mindful moment. It's lovely to be back, and let me just get um, and yesterday I had the privilege of speaking to the Dalton Garden Club, which was such a lovely group of ladies, just near Wartburg. It was their sort of their monthly meetup, and we talked about garden as a remedy and a remedy for. Sorry, give me a moment. I've just pulled up the wrong thing here. Um, yeah, so for turning back to nature for our healing, for being in nature, um, gardening for its physical and therapeutic value. It's not just about creating and the cycles of life. It's also about actually the cutting down and the digging over and the physical release that often gardening can provide us. Um, and then we also talked about the programs started after World War One for ex-servicemen for their post-traumatic stress disorders. That's how allotments and plots really took hold in the UK for people who didn't have gardens because it was, post-traumatic stress disorder wasn't a classified disorder in those times, but these men came back so damaged emotionally from the war, and gardening was something that was found to be really, really helpful and supportive for them. And then we also talked about using our herbs and um, making more herbal teas and poultices. I'm sure many of you might have some of Margaret Roberts's books on your shelves, and I encourage you to take them down and to each week just to pick some of your herbs as a decoration for your kitchen to put in a vase or a jar or something like that. And then to, especially in the sort of mid-morning or mid-afternoon where we might reach for another coffee, an extra coffee or extra an extra tea that we don't need, to just put a sprig of lavender or of mint or lemongrass or rosemary or sage. Just put that into your mug. Use some hot water, and to enjoy our herbal tea. Margaret Roberts says for stress, one should be having at least 1 cup of rosemary tea every day for 10 days. So obviously we can do the same with our essential oils, and we talked a lot about using essential oils as well. Um, and yeah, it was just such a beautiful spring morning and such a warm day. It felt like spring was finally here. And then today we've got a typical Hilton weather. It's the first time that I've woken up to mist since about March or April. It's sort of very misty and a little bit damp and chilly here. But I thought I'd share a poem that I shared with them, which was written by my grandmother, Granny June, my mum's mum. And so, yeah, just to enjoy this and let it land. A garden is memory, a garden is love, reflecting the glory of the heavens above. A garden is music, song of birds, hum of bees. A garden is beauty, bright flowers and green trees. A garden is solace to the sick and the old, with its promise of rebirth forever being told. For a while, leave the world where the worries don't cease. Come walk in a garden and find inner peace. I just thought that was so lovely to share with them. And our mindful moment today is going to be based on the gardening and nature theme. And it's a beautiful poem called Advice from a Tree. So if you would like to, you're welcome to stand. But otherwise, we can just, if it's difficult, we can just stretch up first. So let's take a deep breath in and stretch up as if you're stretching your branches up towards the heavens. And just hold that for a few moments. Just feeling into the feelings in your fingertips, feelings in arms and elbows and shoulders. And then slowly letting those arms drop to the side, but really just noticing what's going on in your arms as you do. The feeling of weight, full of gravity, the blood flow in your fingertips. And we're just going to do that 2 more times. So breathing in, reaching up. Just pausing to notice what's going on in our bodies. Slowly letting your arms drift towards the earth, like leaves drifting down, falling on the earth. And when you reach the bottom, just noticing the sensations in your hands as they lie by your side. And then again, final one, deep breath in, reaching up, opening towards the heavens, receiving the light from the sun, receiving nourishment, absorbing it into fingertips, palms, wrists, forearms, shoulders, and then slowly drifting back down. As you sit or stand, just noticing your feet on the earth, feeling into the outline of your feet on the earth. Sensing into a rooted connection with the earth. And receiving that support from the earth. Sitting in a posture or standing in a posture of upright dignity. Noticing perhaps feelings of expansion and openness in our body after that gentle movement and stretching up. Just holding this posture to let the words of this poem land. Dear friend, stand tall and proud. Sink your roots deeply into the earth. Reflect the light of a greater source. Think long term. Go out on a limb. Remember your place among all living beings. Embrace with joy the changing seasons, for each yields its own abundance. The energy and birth of spring, the growth and contentment of summer, the wisdom to let go of leaves in the fall, the rest and quiet renewal of winter. Feel the wind and the sun and delight in their presence. Look up at the moon that shines down upon you and the mystery of the stars at night. Seek nourishment from the good things in life. Simple pleasures, earth, fresh air, light. Be content with your natural beauty. Drink plenty of water. Let your limbs sway and dance in the breezes. Be flexible. Remember your roots. Enjoy the view. As we sit here, perhaps you want to just move gently forward and back, or in a circle, or just side to side. However feels intuitive for you, as if just moving gently with the wind, flexibly, softly, with gentleness and yet strength. Noticing your breath as you do so. And then when you're ready, just coming to gently land in a position of stillness. Breathing in and breathing out. With each exhale, just rooting and grounding. Noticing again sensations that might have built up in your body. Gently scanning through your body, starting with your top of your head, down through your forehead, back of the eyes, nose, cheeks, jaw, mouth, chin, and slowly making your way down through your neck, your shoulders, noticing areas of tension or tightness, and without judgment or control, just offering a gentle softening to these areas. A gentle letting go and allowing an expansion. And dropping down further, torso, rib cage, spine, abdomen, into pelvis and pelvic bowl. Sensing any points of connection here, areas of support. Again, offering a gentle softening to areas of tension or tightness. And then drifting down, hips, thighs, knees, calves, ankles, down into the feet. Holding your legs, feet in your awareness. Again, offering a softening, gentle letting go. Holding your whole body in your awareness. Gently sensing into how it is to be in this body this morning. Or perceived imperfections, or nagging aches and pains or discomforts. We're still breathing. And when we are still breathing, there's more right with us than wrong with us. And then dropping our attention to our heart space, that area in the center of our chest where heart and lungs meet. And just nestling down into this area, being held in our own heart space, being surrounded by our own breath. And physically sensing into the gratitude of more being right with us than wrong with us. Sensing into that gratitude as a physical sensation. Perhaps it has a color, a texture, a light. Perhaps it holds some sort of shape or weight. Just pausing here, wrapped in sensations of gratitude. Not going into thought, but just dropping down into the feeling of gratitude in our body. Dear friend, stand tall and proud. Sink your roots deeply into the earth. Reflect the light of a greater source. Think long term. Go out on a limb. Remember your place among all living beings. Embrace with joy the changing seasons, for each yields its own abundance. The energy and birth of spring, the growth and contentment of summer, the wisdom to let go of the leaves in fall, the rest and quiet renewal of winter. Feel the wind and the sun and delight in their presence. Look up at the moon that shines down upon you and the mystery of the stars at night. Seek nourishment from the good things in life, simple pleasures, earth, fresh air, light. Be content with your natural beauty. Drink plenty of water. Let your body and your limbs sway and dance in the breezes. Be flexible. Remember your roots. Enjoy the view. Once again, slowly reaching up and out, stretching arms, elbows, hands, wrists, shoulders, and just reaching up towards the sky, towards the heavens. Stretching and moving into your arms, your hands, wrists, and elbows. Just sensing really deeply into how it feels to be moving and stretching in your body this morning. When you're ready, dropping your arms slowly to your sides and rolling into the shoulders. Dropping your head and rolling your neck. Moving your body from your hips and pelvis in circular movements. And settling and stretching into toes and feet. Moving feet and ankles, knees. Moving into your hips and pelvis. And when you're ready, taking a deep breath in and breathing out. And opening your eyes. Taking in the room and the space around you. Colors and lights. It's lovely to see you all. Thank you for joining. Next week, I'll actually be in St. Francis Bay visiting with Pips, and I will be there visiting my folks and taking her to Quest. But I'm going to try and do a mindful moment next Wednesday because the following Wednesday I'll be out of cell phone contact. So when I drop Pips at Quest. So thanks for joining, and we'll see you next week. Thanks, Karika. I'll post the poem on the group. Thanks, Jen. Yeah, thanks, Mandy. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Corrine. See you next week. Have a blessed and beautiful day, everyone.